Hi everyone, very quick review today. This is an ink review and this is Berlin Notebook Blue. This is No.1, their ink No.1, but designed by Victor Walter. Now Berlin Notebook is a company that makes notebooks and they're based in, as you would guess, Berlin. And they sent this out for review a little while back. I reviewed it with the notebook. I did a very basic review, but I wanted to do a sort of slightly more in-depth look at the ink. So here it is. This is it on Tomo River paper. This is a Galen Leather Everyday Notebook. So it uses, as I said, Tomo River paper. And I have had a bit of a play with the ink on here, as well as here on some Rhodia. I have it inked up in a Platinum Procyon with a medium nib. And look, I think this is a really nice blue. I think it's got some nice depth to it. And so I just thought I'd do a very quick review. The ink is designed for use on the recycled paper that Berlin Notebook use in their notebooks. It's a very high quality recycled paper. And for the most part, the ink does work on that paper. Recycled paper is not necessarily always as fountain pen friendly as, say, Tomo River or Rhodia. So there is a little bit of bleed on that paper, but when you put it on paper that is, designed for fountain pen use, you can see it performs really nicely. So let's have a quick look at this. So this review is going to be a short one. New format, let's see how it works. I've got 5 points here. So firstly, it's a nice wet ink. The Platinum Procyon is not the wettest pen on the market. Platinum pens tend to not run dry, but they're just generally not sort of gusher pens, and the Procyon is very much in that vein. But you can see on these examples here, it lays down a really nice line of ink. I think the ink has good saturation. Like there's a nice solid quality to the blue. As I said, it's a solid blue. It's got a rich, vibrant quality. There are some issues on lower quality paper. As I said, the recycled paper Berlin Notebook use, it tends to bleed a little bit, as it does on some other paper. But as you can see here, if we look at the reverse of this, like there's nothing here on Tomo River. And if we look at the back of the Rhodia here, if I can turn the page, you can see also there's nothing that comes through. There's no feathering or anything. It performs really nicely. I think it's just got a really beautiful blue color. If we look at it in a couple of comparisons here. So I've got Diamine Oxford Blue, that's the Berlin No.1 blue, and Waterman Blue. So you can see there are shades of that sort of lighter blue there, as well as lovely darker blue, and that red copper sheen, which is really beautiful, which it has in common with both of these blue inks. If we look at the chromatography, you can see there's a grey line left behind, but all of that vibrant blue is taken up. And we did a water resistance test. We got more or less the same sort of result. A bit of sort of colour left, a darker sort of grey left behind. So yes, you would be able to still potentially read what was on the page, but you are losing quite a lot of the ink. So here's some little criteria stuff. Performance, it's good. There is some bleeding, and that is on lower quality paper. But it's got great flow and it looks really great on Tomo River and Rhodia. As you can see, the dry time was a little bit slow, it sort of smudged there. The extras on this ink, there's no shimmer, it's a straight up blue. It's got some fair shading. If we look at the writing up close, you can see like that beautiful darker shading coming through here, with the lighter shading sort of being still a nice vibrant blue. And there is some sheen. We can see that in both. I'm not sure how the camera's going to pick that up, but it is absolutely there in the writing on this paper as well. Not so much on the Rhodia, but definitely here on the Tomo River. Price. So this little 2ml, 5ml bottle, which they refer to as their sort of EDC version, is €2.99. So more than a regular sample, but it is a sort of a specialty sort of little item. The 30ml bottle, which is the same sort of design as like that sort of Pelican 4001 bottle, like sort of the rounded shoulders and little angle down to the base. A few brands use it. Kaweco use that same sort of design as well. That is €11.99. So not too bad, really not too bad. Especially for something that's not a huge run item. Now, Berlin Notebook have released at least one other ink since then, sort of a pinky colour, very interesting, and I'm hoping to get a chance to have a look at that. So I've given this ink a 4 out of 5. Now, why have I given it 4 out of 5? Firstly, that blue is wonderful, really great blue. If you need a blue for everyday writing use, this is a really good example. It pops off the page nicely, but it's certainly sort of dark enough to not have any issues reading it. There's a tiny bit of water resistance as well, if that's important to you. And, you know, like, it does perform well. If you're a fountain pen user, you generally will use fountain pen friendly paper where possible. But in a finer nib on lower quality paper, it is expected to perform relatively well. And from what I have found, it does for the most part. As I said, a little bit of bleeding occasionally. It is quite a wet ink and, you know, on those papers. But, you know, it performs well, it looks great, it's relatively affordable, and it comes from a small company, which I actually quite like. You know, I do really enjoy, which is the fifth point here, I do enjoy supporting and sort of seeing works from companies that, you know, aren't, you know, while I love the big name brands, sometimes the smaller ones will surprise you, and this blue I think is wonderful. So this was Berlin Notebook No.1 Blue, designed by Victor Walter from my Platinum Procyon. I hope you found this video interesting and useful. If you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Hit the notifications button if you want to stay up to date with the videos that I produce. Please feel free to get in touch using any of the platforms listed below. You can find me on Instagram or Twitter at @the_offstage_me, or you can contact me on any of my videos here, or drop me an email, which is listed down below. If you've got products you think I should be looking at, or if there's a way I'd like to support the channel, get in touch and let's see what we can do. In the meantime, enjoy your inks, enjoy writing, and I'll talk to you soon.